Now that we have a basic idea of motives and cells, let's create some in Ableton Live. Using Session View is the best bet, as this is what it's designed for, to hold clips. Clips are small segments of audio or MIDI data that can be manually triggered or arranged on the timeline in Arrangement View later. Think of the Session View as a place to experiment and test ideas before you commit to them in the arrangement. Since we're composing these, we'll need to use MIDI tracks and not audio. I have a blank MIDI track here, and first things first, I need to add an instrument to the track and arm it for recording. I'm just going to search here for a piano, and we'll use one of my favorites. Good old-fashioned grand piano bright solo. Now I can arm it for recording, and I can test it either by playing it on a MIDI keyboard, or I can enable the computer MIDI keyboard up here in the top right, or I can hit the M key. Now I can use my computer keyboard to play it back. But I'm going to want to hit M again to disable that, since I prefer to use the MIDI keyboard. Now, if I click the clip button in an empty clip, it will start to record. Again, since I'm not a great performer on the piano, I'm going to turn the metronome on before I do that. I'm also going to make sure that I have at least one bar of count off in the recording options. To do that, I can go to Options, Preferences, Record, Warp, Launch, and then make sure that the count in is set to at least one bar. Now, I just have to play to the beat. And there's my clip. We'll come down here and take a look at it. Once the clip has been recorded, I can quantize it to fix all the rhythmic errors. I do that by selecting all the notes within the clip. I'm just going to use Control-A or Command-A on a Mac to select everything at once. Then I can hit Control-U to quantize, or Control-Shift-U to set the options. I don't know what the options are right now, so I'm going to use Control-Shift-U. This would be Command-Shift-U on a Mac. All right, everything's going to eighth notes. That looks pretty good. Do that. Now, I can also crop the clip down by using the end markers for the loop and for the end. But this is going to give me slightly less than the full clip length, so I'm just going to lengthen this note out. We'll try that again with another clip. Okay, I'm going to quantize that. And now I'll cut it down. So now this is a slightly different length clip. If you want to manually create a clip, you can do that by selecting a blank clip slot and then hitting Control-Shift-M or Command-Shift-M on the Mac. If I select my pencil tool, I can now enter in data directly into this. Let me turn off fold first. And draw it out. There we go. And then adjust my loop points as well. Now, keep in mind that by grabbing the loop and end markers, I can extend the clip to the right, or I can crop it to the left. If I wanted to, I could make it much longer by dragging it all the way out to however long I decide. So here's a clip that is 2 full bars. but that's more than I need. So I'm just going to go back to where it was. Either of these methods work for creating clips. Use whichever one works best for you. However, you might want to pay attention to the launch options. With those, if I select all the clips, I can change how they are quantized. I can have them go to the quarter note, the eighth note, they can be triggered, they can be gated, etc. Now, what does that do? Well, if I play one, right now, triggering them manually, they will start at the next beat, as defined by the time signature, so the next quarter note. If I wanted to, I could change the quantization and make it start so that there's no quantization for all of these clips. I should probably select all of them. At which point, they're going to just trigger immediately. Which can be interesting, but can also be kind of bad, especially if I want things to be perfectly in sync, as in the case up here. In these two channels, I've written out the first 4 parts of clapping music by Steve Reich. Let's listen. Definitely want to have those perfectly in sync. That's why you will want to look at what your quantization settings are in launch. It's something that can be very, very, very problematic if you don't pay attention to it.